أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum brothers and welcome to today's lesson. And in today's lesson what we're going to do, we are going to have a recap of a few things that we learned in chapter 7 of Madina Arabic Reader book number 1. And this is a very important concept that we're going to learn. I know we've talked about it already and we know how to apply hada, hadihi, yeah, and dhalika and tilka. But now we're going to inshallah look in a bit more detail in this chapter. Today's lesson is specific to just understanding the feminine nouns. Okay? And once we are, strong with the feminine nouns, then inshallah we're going to, in the next lesson, go to chapter number 8. Okay? So now we are going to, so we've got, what I've got here on the board is hada and hadihi. Okay? Now we've got hadihi and tilka. Okay, everyone remind me, when would I use hada? When my noun is? When the noun is? Masculine, that's right, yeah? And when will I use hadihi? Feminine. When my noun is? Feminine, yeah? Yeah? Good. I'm sure we know this by now. We know this very well, brothers. Okay, how would I know if a noun is masculine or feminine? Marbuta. Good, mashallah. Give an example of a masculine noun. Anything from the old. Kitabun. Good, mashallah. Blindly we could say kitabun. Okay. Give an example of a feminine noun. Ghurfatun. Good, mashallah. That's the word I had in the mind. Okay. So if you have a look, we got hada and hadihi. Okay, so if you got hada kitabun, this is a book, and then hadihi ghurfatun, or you could say hadihi sa'atun, whatever you think you can use. So let's have a look at this one. Hadihi sa'atun. Okay, hadihi sa'atun, because my sa'atun is feminine. But ta marbuta, can everyone see the ta marbuta? So this is telling me that my noun is masculine or feminine? Feminine. That's the reason I'm using hadihi. Okay. If my noun was masculine, then I could not have used hadihi. I would have had to use hada. Okay. Very simple explanation. But having said that, brothers, always remember, we said how many percent of the time? 99% of the time. There is 1% exception where you will find words which got ending with ta marbuta, but they are not feminine. Okay, we'll talk about it when we come to it. So now look at this example. We got hazihi sa'atun. This is a watch. Everyone remember mubtada khabar or forgotten? Okay, where is our mubtada here? Hadihi. Good, mashallah. Hadihi, yeah, is mubtada. And what's our khabar? Sa'atun. Good, mashallah. How do I know sa'atun is khabar? What is my indication? Marfu. Good, mashallah. Remember we said mubtada has to be marfu and khabar has to be marfu if it is one word, okay? So now in this case you might say, okay, so hadihi is not marfu, is it? But hadihi is definite noun. By itself it is marfu, okay? So we got so now hadihi sa'atun, this is a watch. Now that is a car. How would we translate that one? Tilka sayyaratun, that is a car. Okay, so remember what we said, hada, if something is close to us we say hada, if something is far away from us we say dhalika. Ulaika, we haven't come. Brother is going into plural. Let's do singular first. Okay, let's understand singular. So we got hada, hadihi. So ismu ishara lil qaribi. Okay, ismu ishara lil qaribi, demonstrative pronoun for something which is close to us. Yeah, if it is muannath, then so let's do mudhakkar first. If it is muzakkar, then which means it is masculine, then we use hada. Okay, ismu ishara lil ba'idi, Mudhakkar, we use dhalika. Okay, so very common example. Hada baytun wa dhalika masjidun. Okay, got it, brothers? First example, hada and dhalika. Okay, at this stage we should be very, very, comfortable using hada and dhalika. Anything that's close to you is hada, anything that's far away from you is dhalika. Okay, and providing that our noun is, our ismun is what? Mudhakkar, masculine. Correct? Masculine. Now we are doing the same thing, but we got it in feminine. Okay, our noun is feminine. So look at this. Hada is replaced by hadihi, and dhalika is replaced by tilka. Correct? And now we are doing the same thing. Hadihi sa'atun and tilka sayyaratun. So hadihi sa'atun, this is a watch which is just next to me here. But tilka sayyaratun, there's a car far away from me. Okay? Is that clear with everyone? Yeah? So now, if anyone's thinking, can I do mix and match? Can I just do hada, hadihi, however I want to? No, we can't. Okay? If the noun is masculine, you have to use haza. Okay? If it's close to you, you have to use haza. If it is far away from you, it's masculine, you can only use zalika. Dalika. Okay? Likewise with hadihi and tilka. So haza and dhalika we have learned. Now in this lesson we are focusing heavily on feminine nouns, which is hadihi and tilka. Okay. So now let's move on. These are some of the examples that we have already taken. Okay. So let's look at this one. We said all nouns in Arabic are either masculine or feminine. Okay. So everything in Arabic has to be masculine or feminine. We discussed that already, right? Kitabun, book is masculine. Yeah. Baitun, masculine. Sarirun, baitun, masculine. How do I know they are masculine? Nota marbuta, good, mashallah. What about ghurfatun? Feminine. Sayaratun, feminine, good, mashallah. What's the other one that we learned just now? Sa'atun, feminine, existence of ta marbuta. What about aminatu? Feminine, everyone sure? Amina. Muhammadun, masculine. Okay, with names, remember brothers, we said when the name of masculine names, it ending with tanween. Muhammadun, Yasirun, Abbasun, Khalidun, all of them ended with double. Yeah, when it comes to the name of feminine names, Aminatu, Aishatu, Ruqayyatu. Okay, Ruqayyatu. Okay, so remember this one. So now let's look at some of the common examples that we will find. Usually a masculine noun can be changed to feminine noun. Okay, so there are certain times we need to change a masculine noun to a feminine noun. Okay, now for example, in the case of kitabun, kitabun will always take kitabun. Yeah, we cannot change it to feminine. There is no need for us to change it to feminine. Okay, baitun for example will always stay masculine. There is no need for us to change it to feminine. But there are cases where we need to change. Okay, now is a male teacher, all right, and a female teacher, all right. Do you think we need to change the one? Yes, we need to change the one. Yeah, male teacher. Teacher can be male or a female. Okay, what about a doctor? Can we be male and female? It can be. So there are certain cases where a noun can be masculine or feminine. Okay, and this is where we need to know how to change it. And the ruling for changing it is really, really easy, brothers. Okay, just add ta marbuta. So let's have a look at this example. Adding a closed ta, a ta'ul marbuta, marbuta, okay, at the end, and putting fathatun on the letter ta. Okay, so for example, fathatun on letter ta. So for example, mudarrisatun. Yeah, so mudarrisa. So look at the first one. On the one, mudarrisa, mudarrisun. Mudarrisun means teacher. Okay, mudarrisun means teacher. Okay, and now I want to make it into feminine. What do I need to put? Ta marbuta. Okay, so I just added ta marbuta. mudarrisatun. And something to note here, the letter sin, what did I put on top of letter sin? Fatha. Okay, putting fatha on letter before ta marbuta. Correct? So now mudarrisun, mudarrisatun. Okay? 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 So for example, if I was to say, for example, there was a female teacher here, I would say, Man hadi he. Then you could give me an answer. Hadihi mudarrisatun. Okay? But say for example, we had a male teacher come in. So means I would say, Man hada. Now how would the answer be? Hada mudarrisun. Okay? It will come through practice. Okay, inshallah. So that's one of the ways we can also change. And then we got talibun. Talibun. What's talibun, everyone? Student. MashaAllah. Good. Good, everyone's remembering it. Talibun is student. Now I want to make it into feminine. What should I make? Talibatun. Did you see? Talibatun. Just stick a ta marbuta. Okay? And ba will take a fatha. Just keep a track of that one. So the letter before the ta marbuta will take a fatha. So if somebody is very confused, like, oh my God, if I where would I, what will happen to my ta marbuta? Is just the letter before will take a fatha. Okay, ta marbuta. But again, having said that, this is only in the case where we need to change them. Okay, from masculine to feminine, but not in the case of things where the gender is already fixed. Okay. For example, kitabun, baitun, masjidun, these then genders are already fixed. Okay, but there are certain things that can be male or female, as in the case of teacher, as in the case of student, as in the case of doctor. Alright, now look at another example. Yeah, bintun. Yeah, bintun. Okay, okay, and ibnun. So we got ibnun. Yeah, ibnun. Yeah, and then bintun. Now this one is completely changed. Okay, ibnun mean son of. Yeah, but if you change bintun, daughters. Okay, correct. So this one we have to remember. This is exception to the rule. Okay, ibnun and bintun. Okay, this one. Surprisingly, this one is, did you see, is open ta. Okay, open ta. So this is not following the other rule, but there is still a ta at the end. Okay, but this is open ta rather than a closed ta. So ibnun, all right, and then we got bintun, and similarly you got akhun, brother. Okay, brother. Okay, and then ukhtun, sister. Okay, these are exceptions to the rule, but we got to remember them. Okay. So now we got some nouns, okay, they do not have ta marbuta at all, but they are feminine. Okay, look at this one. Ummun. Ummun. Okay, ummun. Ummun is mother. Mother by default is feminine, right? But it does not have a ta marbuta. Okay, so these words, ibnun, bintun, akhun, ukhtun, ummun, we got to remember them. Okay, again, as the case in the case of shamsun. What's shamsun, brothers? Sun. Yeah, shams. Yeah, it does not have a
Shamsun feminine.
Feminine. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm mistaken. I thought Qamarun was. I got it the other way around.
Yeah, as the other. So not all feminine nouns have ta marbuta. So according to this one, yeah, shamsun is feminine, but does not have a ta marbuta to indicate that it is feminine. Okay, and so now we got some, right, as we were saying, it will have ta marbuta. It will have ta marbuta, but it is not feminine. Okay, for example, Hamzatu. Hamzatu. Hamza is a common name, right? Hamza. You write their name Hamzatu with the ta marbuta. Oh, is it feminine? No, Hamza is masculine. Okay, not all them. And Baitun. Okay, Baitun, look at this one. This is a ta as well. Okay, one could easily get confused and say, oh, there's a ta there, it's feminine. No, it's not. Look at the ta it is. Is it open ta or closed ta? Open ta. Okay, but you know why the reason they're putting Baitun here, you know, because if you try saying Baitun, can you feel the ta? Yeah, and Sa'atun, can you feel the ta? You can feel, right? Sa'atun, we can feel it. By tun as well. Only when you write it, you would know that it is open ta. Alright? So these two, for example, this is a ta, this is a ta. Alright? If you're saying it, both of them, we can hear the ta, right? But there is a difference in ta. This is a ta marbuta, and this is a ta mabsuta. Okay? Means closed ta and open ta. Alright? Keep a track of this one, brothers. Don't worry, I know it's like too many exceptions. All this time, in the starting of the lesson, we said, oh, just add ta marbuta. But now I've got 1, 2, 3 exceptions already. Alright? This will come through practice. When you go through the lessons, when you see ibnun, bintun, ukhtun, akhun, ummun, they're going to be used excessively, one after the other. Okay? And inshallah, it will hopefully sink in. Okay? So now let's look at some other examples of gender of body members. We discussed this already, but we will have a look at it again. So any singular members are usually masculine, and anything that is double, right, within our body part, then it is feminine. Okay? So for example, ra'sun. Ra'sun means head. Okay? Anfun, nose. Famun, mouth. Alright? Wajhun, which is face. Okay? Have we found the word anywhere in the Quran? Can anyone give me an example? Surah like Wajhi Rabbika. Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى وجه ربه الأعلى ولسوف يرضى. So most of these words, inshallah, we'll find them in the Quran, most of them. Yeah, so we will, whenever we find them, we're going to relate them to the verses of the Quran, and when we find them, inshallah, we're going to try and keep a track of them, inshallah. Okay? And so we got feminine, yadun. Yadun, hands are 2, right? What about ainun? Eyes are 2. Okay? Rijlun, legs, 2 legs, yeah? Udhunun, 2 legs. Okay, so the reason we need to know this very well, because is there any ta marbuta to indicate femininity? No, there is no ta marbuta. So when you're reading your text and ainun comes, automatically you will know it is feminine. Okay? And anfun comes, automatically it is masculine. And you got to remember this. Okay? You got to remember this, the singular, and when anything that's single in our body, then it is masculine, and anything which is double is feminine. Okay? Inshallah, and again, this will come more through practice. Okay? Okay, now we come to our mubtada and khabar again. Okay? Mubtada and khabar. Alright, brothers, you got to be excited about mubtada and khabar, okay? Because you can't be like, oh, not again. No, we got to be excited about mubtada and khabar. Okay? So now, is gender, mubtada and khabar must be the same. Okay? So, your subject, if your subject is masculine, then your predicate or the news about the subject also has to be masculine. Alright? If it is, if your mubtada is feminine, your khabar also has to be feminine. We can't do mix and match. Okay? So let's look at these examples of mudhakkar and muannas. So Muhammadun talibun. Okay? Muhammadun talibun. Is it a complete sentence, brothers?
Yes.
Is it a complete sentence? Muhammad is our mubtada and talibun is our khabar. Talibun. But wait a minute. How do I know both of them are? What's my indication? What's my physical indication that I can see? Both of them are marfu. Okay? A khabar is one word, it is marfu. Both of them are marfu. So as long as I see both of them are marfu, okay? For the brother you've joined us today, do you know what marfu, mansub, majroor? Okay? So when you see a noun ending with 2 dhammas, that's marfu. When you see a noun ending with 2 fatha, that is mansub. And when you see a noun ending with 2 kasra, that is called majroor. Okay? Alright, and we got a song for it. Let's go for the song. It's been a while now. Okay? Dun 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 din, 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 din. When it is dun, it is marfu. When it is done, it is mansub. And when it is din, it is majroor. Majroor. Remember that song. Remember that song. Remember that tune. Brother, when I was learning Arabic, when I've heard this one and I remember it from my sheikh, subhanallah, I think a lot of it became easy. A lot of it became easy. You know the dun dan din. If you know the dun dan din thing, Arabic becomes really, really easy. Okay, inshallah, with the help of Allah, of course. So now let's look at the another example. So we got brother Muhammad who is a student, but now let's look at Fatima. Fatima is a student. She's a student. But can I write Fatima tu talibun? No, I'm going to write she's talibatun. She's a female student. Okay? So look at how the two ta marbutas have come out. Yeah? Fatima tu talibatun. Okay? They have to match. Okay? Masculine mubtada khabar has to match in gender. Okay? So, and talibatun. Okay? Fatima tu, we know Muhammadun, masculine name ending with double, and feminine name ends with single. Okay? Remember that bit. Okay, so let's take the next example. Al-kitabu jadidun. Okay? Al-kitabu means the book is new. New. Okay? So, jadidun, al-kitabu jadidun. But look at the other example. As-sayyaratu jadidatun. So the what do you call the adjective which is describing what the sayyara has is also feminine. So how do I know both of them are feminine? Ta marbuta has come. Okay, correct? Yeah. So for example, I wanted to say the house is new. What do I do? No, I wanted to say the house is new. Al baytu jadidun. Simple, yeah. Al baytu jadidun. Okay, the house is new. Okay, try and question yourself to make simple sentences. Okay, okay. Whereas a sayyaratu, because sayyaratu is feminine by itself. All right, and the jadidatun. Okay, let's look at an example now. Now, hada dikun. What is dikun, everyone, brothers? Remind me. No. Rooster, yeah. Yeah, when we go to meat shop, we know it, and a rooster chicken. You know, we need to remember in the lesson. Okay. Hada dikun. Hada is our muftada, and dikun is khabar. Okay. Hada we said is definite by nature, it does not change. So hada will stay as it is, and dikun is ending with marfu, so we know it is khabar. Hada dikun. Okay. Now look at the other case. Hadihi dajajatun. Okay. Now something very important. You can't say dikun. Let me just make it into feminine by putting ta marbuta dikatun. No, you can't do that. There is a word for feminine. Okay. Rooster is male, all right, and hen is feminine. Chicken is a general name. Okay.
Hen is female.
Yeah. Hen is female. A rooster is male. So when you say, for example, get chicken from the shop, it could mean rooster or a hen. Okay? But when you go into differentiation, the word chicken is overused. You know? Overused. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Murgi is a Bangla word, okay? Hada dikun wa hazihi dajajatun. Dajajatun. That's the new word that we're going to be learning, inshallah. Okay, now this one, dhalika babun, that is a door. And look at that one, tilka nafidatun. Nafidatun. What is nafidatun, brothers? Yeah, tilka nafidatun, yeah, but what is nafidatun? Something close, you know.
Oh yeah.
So, window. Tilka nafidatun means that what it calls that is a window. The reason we use nafidatun tamar tilka because nafidatun is feminine. Okay, got it, this brothers? Brothers, as I said already, we need to work on our vocabulary. Okay, No point of learning all this grammar and everything unless we are able to construct sentences with vocabulary. So this is very important. Okay, I'm going to inshallah upload this in the group so everyone finds it easy inshallah to go through these ones easily. We got one more page. I think we covered all of them, aren't we? Okay, so this is the some of the grammar that what we left, and I want to just make sure that everyone 100% with this. So this is our foundation, and inshallah in the next lesson we're going to start off with chapter 8. Okay, so having said that, brothers, this you have to get this concept right. Okay, hada, hadihi, dhalika, tilka. Okay, that's step number 1. Step number 2, you should be able to differentiate between which is masculine, which is feminine, just by looking at the noun. Okay, some nouns, as we said, like kitabun, baitun, sarirun, we know it already, alhamdulillah, it is male. Okay, and some sa'atun, sayyaratun, we know them is the existence of ta marbuta. But then there are exceptions to the rule, like akhun, ukhtun, yeah, ibnun, bintun, okay, ummun, or hamzatun. These are exceptions to the rule. I know we have been introduced to it today, but we should be able to differentiate between the two. And the other thing that we need to know, remember, when it comes to mubtada and khabar, both of them has to match. Okay, so that we are able to differentiate between the two. So inshallah we're going to stop here today, and next week inshallah we're going to do chapter 8, having taken this one. All right, anyone got any question?
Next week after Maghrib, isn't it?
Yeah, we will do inshallah after Maghrib. I think after Maghrib is the best time to do, unless everyone wants to do after Isha, or Maghrib is good. Yeah, after Isha gets late because next day everyone's got work and everything. So next week, brothers, just remember we're going to learn something called badal. Okay, substitute. Okay, so can I ask everyone to do some research on badal? Okay, inshallah we'll have a detailed discussion. Nothing to worry about. We'll have a detailed discussion in the lesson, but just for your curiosity. Okay, so if you are away next week, alhamdulillah, then alhamdulillah, I've uploaded all the lessons in the group so far up to lesson number 7. So if anyone's not sure about anything, anyone not sure about any lesson, just go and check yourself. All right, and then what you call, we will inshallah take it from there. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.